Bellator is dead. Before we hop into UFC 311 and stuff like that, we might as well, right? Bellator's dead. Funny enough, you and I met each other covering the last event in history. And looking back, that was like the last day of high school, wasn't it? Type shit. Like the last day of school type shit. Like that felt so unorganized, so like unlike
I had nothing to compare it to.
me neither. It's my first one, but like it felt super casual. Like you could do what you want, say what you want. She's telling people like, remember when at the press conference, she's like two questions, and you got these kids sitting down asking like seven. Like
Yeah.
there's no rules, there's no enforcement. Like it was the last day of school.
It kind of felt like, the minor leagues too. You know what I mean? Like it's I mean, remember the press conference when the noise of the people coming
Yeah, the
through?
Raptors and shit like that,
It was
trying to
like
shut down the event.
it was super loud. You couldn't really hear any of the questions. You couldn't hear the answers. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right,
didn't
it
eat
was.
any of
I didn't
that.
even hear any of their answers. Truth be told, right? Because
I didn't eat any of that food either.
oh, you didn't?
Hell no.
I was munching on that pizza pretty heavy,
no, dog, no.
dude. Whenever there's free food like that, I get my money's worth.
I'm hella bougie.
I can't help myself.
I'm hella bougie. I grabbed a water.
Oh, I was even drinking sodas. I never drink sodas, but I'm like, fuck, it's for free. Like, why not?
That's funny.
So, let's see here.
We got to meet Habib.
Got to meet Habib, right? But
Umar was there.
Umar was there, right? Yeah.
Names there, that's for sure. There was some big names.
It was kind of sick. Ali was there, the manager,
Yep. Javier.
right? So it's kind of sick to see all that.
The whole Habib's.
It was definitely a good experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Like now when I, go to a UFC event or something like that, if I choose to cover one and I'm around a big star, I mean, I was in the same room like 5 feet away from Khabib, so it'll feel, I guess, less like crazy.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a good experience, but it felt super casual was my only point. Like looking back, it seemed like that was kind of like the last event. Like that makes sense because it was so unorganized as far as media goes. I think they just let anyone who like applied go. Like I think we were all the people who applied.
Yeah, because I knew some people that I think they applied weren't able to go.
Really?
I think it's like 50-50, you know what I mean? Like
Oh.
they still want to be there and shit. So I mean, I can't say, but
All right, fair enough. So I guess now, and dude, I don't really care to be honest. Like, so I'm not going into this like heavy with a lot of heavy information, but I'll give a brief gist of what I've seen. Right. So PFL is now Bellator. I guess like guys like Aaron Jeffrey, right, who just fought on that Bellator card, he's gonna be on the PFL roster now. But my questions are like, dude, where are these guys fighting? Like, is Aaron in the tournament now? Like, what the fuck is going on? I think there's going to be two separate things. I think there's going to be a tournament, and basically, like, Bellator will be like the UFC roster of the PFL, if that makes sense to you.
okay.
Like, the Bellator roster will still fight each other non-tournament style, but then, like, it'll be PFL has all those no names in the tournament. Because let's be real, nobody ever knows who's competing in that fucking tournament.
But is Bellator going out of business?
Bellator, I guess, well, it got bought by PFL, right? So PFL just isn't going to promote Bellator's brand that they purchased anymore. They're going to promote it all under one umbrella.
It's a PFL event.
But I think they're still going to keep the rosters separate, which is super confusing.
Okay, so PFL is the big dog.
The big dog.
They swallowed Bellator. Bellator's out, but they still kept the rosters of fighters that they're gonna want to keep.
For example, right? Usman, Bellator champion. He's now the PFL lightweight champion.
Got you.
But they still have a PFL lightweight tournament. So whoever wins that, they don't fight Usman at all whatsoever. So that's where it gets confusing. It's like Usman's not going to be competing in this damn tournament.
They got time to clean it all up, though.
Bro, they ain't cleaning shit up. That is like one of the worst run organizations right now.
Well, I guess, and that's why the UFC is the UFC too.
My thing is this, and I'll give credit to Ariel, right? What's up with all this bullshit? Just give us a fucking organization with good fighters and put them up against each other. I'm tired of seeing like healthcare and all this fucking bullshit. Like, dude, or not even healthcare, but like, like the $1 million tournament over here. Then you got the GFL, right? Who's going to do this revenue share. They keep talking about that. They're signing like 50-year-old guys. Like, cut out all the bullshit. Just get some good talent under a promotion and fight these guys. The problem is all the big names want to go to the UFC because that's the dream.
Sure.
Nobody wakes up and says, I want to be a Bellator fighter.
I saw that Ian Gary clip.
That's kind of what I'm quoting right there.
But I mean, there's levels to this shit too. I mean, I think every fighter, you know, if you can, if you can't win there, you won't go to the UFC, right? If you're not a top dog in these underlying organizations and promotions, you'll never be able to achieve that dream. So I like that there is kind of a bumper almost, a gatekeeper, a gatekeeper for the gatekeepers.
I guess so.
But you know, I'm not too much into all that. You know.
Yeah, but neither am I because the competition isn't good over there. You know what I mean? They're not. They're.
If you're not watching UFC Vegas 101, I know you're not watching.
Fuck no, I'm not watching the PFL. Are you kidding me? You know, they don't got no names.
You know
they
what?
think
You
that
know
a
what I
season format will just build it up.
I'm the parry punch like undercard guy.
What does that mean?
I'm like your I'm your reporter for any of
Yeah. For the lower stuff, right?
Yeah. Give me all your like lower shit.
I like underground too a little bit, but you know, for me, I've kind of broken away from like some of the international up and coming guys. Like, you really got to prove yourself to break through. Like, I can't do anything for you. You don't even speak English. We got a ton of these international guys coming in. They're in their own lane, but it's hard for me to pay attention. You know,
there's a lot to cover. Yeah, there's
right.
A lot to cover.
A couple things I want to just say before I forget. Let me say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, a couple things I want to say before I forget. Number one, PFL, there was one thing I wanted to say about it, which is how they dropped their bonuses down to 100K. They shut down Bellator. Obviously, Francis Ngannou got paid like 10 million from PFL, right? So one of the biggest questions, I think it's so obvious to see, like, what happened? Did PFL take, or did Francis take all the PFL's money? Like, Francis gets $10 fucking million, and all these changes happen. Nobody can be honored in their contracts. Like, I feel like Francis took a lot of the PFL's fucking money, and they've been like scrambling to make ends meet after paying out 10 mil.
I mean,
and didn't his opponent get a guaranteed multiple million? I think that was part of it. When he signed, it was like, I get 10 mil, and then my opponent gets like 5, and that was his claim as like for fighter pay.
He already fought the first fight though, right?
He fought Henan Ferreira.
Knocked him out, right?
And knocked him out. And I think Henan got multiple millions to fight Francis. Because Francis was trying to say, like, I'm for fighter pay. But now he doesn't speak up at all.
But imagine this. You're going up against a Goliath of the UFC. You know you're going to be losing and burning money just to try to bring talent. So you got to bite that bullet. And that's a lot of businesses, bro. A lot of businesses lose money on marketing or things of that nature to try to raise the awareness for their brand to get to the next point, to be an Apple, to be a Microsoft. You know, there's a lot of businesses do that. So, I mean, it comes with the game. Yeah.
The real question is, right, and what are you going to do? Pass up on Francis? But if your ass, or if your mouth writes a check that your ass can't cash, you know, then you're going to fold.
Yeah.
So if they really are scrambling to get ends meet and pay the rest of their fighters after they just like gave Francis all their damn money, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. And shout out to Francis, I guess. Get the bag, I guess.
Yeah.
But just know that a lot of fighters are getting screwed over if that is the case because of how much he got paid.